Hello everyone, this is Nicola Equals Professional Analyst on Human Design. And in this video we are talking about head center. Head center is a very important center. It drives our thoughts, it drives our mood. So let's get deeper down to this topic to negotiate and understand what is that actually energy, what it provides us and what gives us to know our own type of energy of the head center, and how can we use our super strength from this type of energy from the head center. Let's do it. The first thing that I've already mentioned in the previous video, observing the whole nine-centered humanity energetic system, we can say that the head center is the center of mental pressure. This is the pressure center that pressurizes us to think. And what is the actual initiation of the thinking? Is a question or idea. Frankly speaking, the idea starts from the questions, right? We can ask, what if blah blah blah, and what not to do that and this? What if we say from the another point of view, and starts mental process. Mental process in our second mental center, ajna, we will negotiate in the further videos. But now we will be focused on a head center that provide us with the right or wrong, necessary and unnecessary questions. Let's try to understand what type of this energy do you have, what is it is connected in the body, and how to use it to be useful and effective in a daily life for you and your surrounding. The head center is the center that represents the energy above our head. It is partially in our body. It means that it is partially in our body and partially outside. This upper triangle that contains, by the way, the personality crystal in itself is connected to our body through the pineal gland. Pineal gland is the mystical gland that all the mystics, yogas, magicians, try to practice, try to evolve, try to grow and become more fulfilled with energy and conscience. Thus, head center for me as an image receiver, a receiver that receives informations, receives insights, receives all the question that comes to our mind, and the frequency, the actual type or smell or color of this information depends on our type of head center. So let's negotiate what type of head centers do we have. As always, talking about energetic system of the body graph, we have three types: defined, undefined and open. Starting with the undefined plus open centers, we are talking about 70% of the humanity. This is a huge amount receivers or so-called Wi-Fi routers that takes information and inspiration and questions and ideas from all over the world. And I would say in the most cases from the others people that have defined head center. These 70% are beautiful in questioning. They are masters. They are supermen and superwomen in asking questions, in an ability to change your focus, to look on an object from the other side, from different angles and points of view. Very useful quality of person, and every time you interfere or connect or relate with undefined head, it's always interesting because it's inspiration all the time new. It's fresh, it different, it varies from one to another, day by day, month by month and year by year. That's for sure that sometimes it can really piss off. It can really iterate and maybe even frustrate. What's wrong with you? From time to time, defined head center can say, yes, the year before you were Christian. Now You are getting deeper in human design. What will be next in 2 years? Should I even listen to you now? Because you are so unstable. And the not self of the undefined center after these words try to catch, try to grasp, try to grab your inspiration right now. Because I like this right now and I want this inspiration to be with me from whole my life to the end. Undefined center in a not self or not correct living this energy tries to fix, to grasp this inspiration, this type of, kind of mental mood or channel of questioning people because he likes it in the moment. But in undefined centers, everything is unstable. So from the time to time, it will be pushed, it will be stressed out through this zone of comfort to the new one earth, to the new one area or field of energies, questions and inspirations. Sometimes this inspiration can be effective, can be well paid, can be supportive from our surroundings. We like this stuff, we like this kind of inspiration. And sometimes the owners of undefined head centers are stressed on a desert earth. Nobody likes it. You don't like it. You are frustrated or you doubt. Or maybe you are really mixed in your thoughts. What to do? Does it make sense? You are not sure all the time, but it's precious as well. And it doesn't depend whether you like it or not, whether you're surrounded or not. We're just watchers. We are watching our thought flow. Our thought flow doesn't belong to us. That's very deep, but very interesting and necessary to understand now. So, undefined center in their own correct or healthy living, this type of undefined or unstable type of energy, he is not following all the questions. He is not concerned about all the questions, especially questions that are not connected to himself. In other words, BS thoughts are useful and can flood the mind and the head center that is undefined. Unfortunately, just paralyzing mental process. Thinking of nothing, thinking of things that doesn't matter is the classical not self or incorrect usage of the mental energy, living energy of undefined head center. When you start it, when you're thinking, when you lose focus, when you every time, every second, step by step, every minute, just put over your focus to the next, just say to yourself, stop. Is it concerned to me now? Can I influence this now? Is it really necessary to think about how it can affect my life? How I can affect this through my life, through my power, through my administrative resources? The classical thing for undefined head center to think whether there is life on Mars, how does the squirrel live in a nearby park, and so forth questions, Undefined center differs from open center with one thing. Undefined center has its own dormant gates, whether 64, whether 69, whether 63. 64 is the question about the past, 63 about the future, and 60 now is rhetorical questions. But we will get deeper into that, talking about gates and hexagrams separately. Open center has completely wide and completely open center has no idea what to think, has no idea what to research, what to question. It's always really unstable and it's always conditioned by transits, conditioned by human or personal conditioning, so-called aura conditioning. They are pure transitors of the ideas of other people. Undefined center and open center are really effective in their flexibility of the questioning, flexibility of the changing your point of view. And for sure, they're really sensitive to the mindset of defined centers. Because defined centers are the people that are thinking on for months, maybe for years, and sometimes for decades. Defined head centers, this is only 30% of humanity, but it's good enough to translate their inspiration through the 70% with undefined and open centers. Because undefined and open centers amplify their ideas. They catch, they grasp the inspiration from the defined center. For example, scientists that research some kind of psychological or living aspect, or grasp some mood about men or women, or being vegan, or some kinds of social problems, and they describe these problems louder and louder, writing books, shooting films, giving an interview, but it wasn't their own idea. The owner of idea, if it is possible even to say, is defined head center. Defined head center has a focus. He doesn't lose focus, he has it. Undefined center will never change defined head center mind. It's impossible. You don't even to try, but you can. You will have your own experience. Defined center here is to generate inspiration, is to generate their own thoughts. So defined head center are drivers of humanity inspiration, are drivers and pressurizes that drives humanity to think about. Not self of defined head center is a deep mental pressure. That's a kind of, obesity. That's a kind of, mental disease or depression when defined center has no idea even just how to take a pause. It's a state of being lost in question. So I think it's some kind of extreme way of living defined energy of head center. But the mission of defined head center is to bring inspiration. And you maybe know, in real life, these rare people, only 30%, when they just come to the surrounding, come to you. If you have undefined or open head center, you start thinking like them. You start agreeing on them. You have inspiration and you have a point of view and a point of questioning like that person that you are connected by through the aura right now. This magnetism stays for maybe several hours or maybe several days and depends on your depth and strength of your communication and interconnection at that time. For example, I have undefined head center, but my father-in-law has defined head and ajna centers. And I always felt, even I wasn't in human design, I felt that I have nothing to change his mind. I have nothing to push him to think the other way. So for example, when he starts, saying about politics and the situation in the country, I'm just listening because it's just interesting for me. I'm flexible in my mental processes. I'm just taking it into consideration. It's just fun for me. But if I would like to change his mind, I would spoil our relationship for sure and won't succeed 100%. So this is why very useful and effective to understand the mechanics of defined and undefined head centers. So thus we have these three types of people, three types of translators, three types of receivers inspiration or questioning. And the question is the really important things. Everything starts from the questions, because through the questioning we can change our lives. We can change our point of view. We can change the way of doing. And without questioning, we would have done things the same time for decades, but maybe something more convenient was really close to us. But we didn't see it because there weren't questions. So the mission of head center is the questioning, is the focusing, is inspiring humanity, each other, and keeping us in a constant evolution and getting better and better in our daily processes, way of thinking, a way of doing. I hope you got your super strengths in this video. And the head center provides us opportunity to be stable or unstable, not to be hurt or frustrated with the way of thinking that is unreachable for us and is not necessary. And for sure, to save and keep our mental energy in a healthy and necessary state, to be really in harmony as a person, using this mental pressure but not allowing it to obsess our lives, health and stress balancing and management. So this was video about head center, its kind of types, and why should we understand to make our relationships and mental health better. See you in the next video. This was Nikolai Equals. Bye for now.